right into this video. Today we're doing a sewing video. I'm going to be making a dress out of some gingham fabric that I got from the thrift store last week. You can see that in my last Thrift With Me video if you didn't watch that. And we are going to try to figure out together what we're going to make with this fabric. So as you can see here, I have my Pinterest, and I pinned a few things on here, a few different ideas of what I was thinking we could make with this fabric. And I'm going to use everything thrifted, my thrifted fabric, and I have a bunch of thrifted buttons that I'm going to look through, and I'm going to bring you guys along for the whole process. So I'm very excited for that, and we're going to hop right into this, and let's try to figure out how we're going to make this dress. Okay, so I found this jumper in my closet, and this is kind of similar to the structure I wanted to make this dress. So we're gonna try to use this a little bit to draft a pattern, but we're just gonna draft it straight onto the fabric and hopefully not mess it up. So I'm gonna lay the fabric out, and I'm gonna put this jumpsuit over it, and I'll kind of show you how I'm gonna draft this onto the fabric, or how I'm gonna make my pattern pieces based off of this jumper. So okay, so after about 30 minutes and some trial and error of trying to figure out how I want to lay out this fabric to cut it out, I want it to be as simple of a sewing project as possible. So I have it laid out right now to where when I cut around this jumper, it will cut out two pieces, which will be the front panel and the back panel. And then I might add in some extra fabric on the bottom for the skirt part of the dress, so it's a little bit wider. I don't know, we'll see. I'm just gonna start cutting and hope that it turns out okay. If not, we're gonna have to come up with a new plan. I know, bubs. But for now, we're just gonna wing it, and we're gonna see. For now, we're gonna wing it, and we're gonna see how this comes out. So, and let's do this. I think it'll turn out like that. Okay, I believe you. Hopefully this wasn't a mistake. I guess we'll find out soon enough. Let's keep cutting. So a small dilemma that I'm having right now is that I've cut this part out, this top part so far. Every 3 feet on this fabric, there's a seam where the fabric was sewn together. So I can't decide if I want to kind of change up the idea from my Pinterest pictures that I'm using. Okay, so I decided that I am just gonna cut about waist length and attach the skirt separately to avoid having the seam right in the middle of the dress. I just feel like that's not gonna look very nice, it's not gonna look professional. So we're just gonna guesstimate and cut this maybe a little longer than I'm thinking I need it, just in case, because it's always easier to bring the fabric in rather than make it longer. So I'm just gonna cut that, and we'll see how that looks. I'm going back now. I think it's gonna look a lot better with the separate skirt. So now that I did that, I'm just gonna cut right along the seam, and then the rest of this fabric is going to be the skirt of the dress, or the bottom half of the dress. So let's just cut that out and see where we go from there. Hi, buddy. A little sewing buddy. Okay. So yes, this is very large, but this is going to be the center. It's going to be cut because it's going to have the button. So this is going to be brought in probably about that much, because it's going to have those buttons right in this front. I'm just gonna cut up right up the line. also, I just cut in half the front and the back panel. So that way, whatever I bring in on the front, however much I bring in on the front, I will also need to bring it on the back so that way the straps will match up at the top of the shoulders. Okay guys, I don't know if I just got super lucky with this or if I just happened to plan it out correctly. Honestly, I just got really lucky. We have the perfect amount of fabric to do exactly what we want. So for this top bodice, I told you guys before, for the front, I told you that I had cut out the front and the back so that they looked the same. And I cut these in half so that I could have the buttons here, and in the back I was just gonna sew back together. But now I've realized I have just enough fabric to sew these pieces together so that the front is a little thicker, so that it's not see-through. And then I have this perfect double 2 strips of fabric that I can sew together for the back to make the back nice and thick. And these will go on kind of like that. Then I also have the perfect amount of fabric to make straps for the back to come up and attach to the front straps. I only have a little bit left of fabric from that. And then with these 2 pieces of fabric, this is from when I cut out this neckline. I'm going to use these to make some pockets in the skirt part of the dress. So this is, as far as I can tell, this is going to work out absolutely perfect. So I'm honestly really excited to work on this and to get it done so that we can see how it turns out and wear it. Now I just have to worry about whether I'm going to double line the skirt or not, so that it's not just a little thicker and not see-through, but we'll figure that out in a little bit. We're going to work on the top for now and see if we can get to look how it looks in my head.
To us to sound and smell each rose. The colors that we show, it's the feeling that we trust, and it's the brush that we both carry. You don't ever have to look too far. You don't have to cover up your scars. Perfect, darling, just the way you are. So before you think to rip yourself apart, open up my heart and you'll find love, love.
Okay, so I've kind of pinned this together to fit me just a little better. It was a little long based off of where I want the waist to drop from the skirt and where I want the pockets to be. So I pinned that up a little higher, made the waist come up, and this is where there's going to be buttons down the front. So I'm just holding that together. And then you've got the sleeves, and we got the back. It's just going to be straight across, and the straps get a little thicker in the back. Now obviously the back is going to be the same length as the front. I just haven't pinned that up yet or cut that. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and sew these pieces together so that I can flip them right side out and sew the bodice together. Since I'm doing it double layered, I gotta sew those layers together. So let's do that and see where we go next.
Cover up your scars. Perfect, darling, just the way you are. So before you think to rip yourself apart, open up my heart and you'll find love, 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 love. Love, love, love. Open up my heart and you'll find love. Call my number, call my name. If you wander back again, call my number, call my name. We both know I'm to blame. Call my number, call my name.
gonna sew along right here to sew these back straps inside of this back. I have it all pinned together and it still fits good. So I'm just gonna sew these pieces together to finish off this part of the top. And yeah, I'm really excited actually. It fits super well. And then with the little buttons down the front, it's gonna be so cute. So we're just gonna sew the straps and sew the sides together, and then we'll move on and maybe we'll put the buttons on first, or maybe we'll just start with the skirt to get the major parts of the dress done. We will see. But for now, let's just do this real quick. Okay guys, here's the dilemma. I'm trying to pick. I have way too many options for buttons. So I'm going to show you a few different options that I like, and then I'm going to struggle to make a decision on which one I'm going to choose. Here's the first one. Little white buttons. Very simple. Tiny buttons. Option 2 are these little flower buttons. 3 are these gold buttons. Some very old antique gold buttons. These brass looking gold brassy buttons. And lastly, these little sun buttons, which I think are very cute, but seriously cannot decide between all these buttons. Let me know down below which ones you guys would have picked if it were up to you. Okay guys, so now I'm trying to sew these buttonholes. I'm trying to sew little buttonholes onto the top so that I can put on the buttons. But the thing is, I've never used, there's like a little thing that comes with the sewing machine that allows you to sew buttonholes perfectly. And I've never used it before, so I'm kind of just trying to figure it out as I go. I did some practice ones on here. That's the back. I did some little practice ones just trying to figure out how it works. And then I just jumped right into it and I just started doing it onto the top. So far so good. I've only done one, but I think it's not too bad. I just have to, you know, cut the hole in the middle for the button to go through. But I got 2 more to do. You can see where I put those little dots. And so I'm gonna do those real quick and hopefully they turn out good. If not, that's okay, because it doesn't have to be perfect. The buttons are gonna basically be covering it the whole time anyway, so I'm not too worried about it. It's good practice, so let's finish that and then see where we go from there. Okay, just one more to go, and then we can poke the holes then. Okay, here's the Okay, so now I'm going to pull out some of this elastic and I'm going to measure it out to the length of this top buttoned up, so like this. I'm going to measure it out and then I'm going to sew it onto this skirt so that way it lines up perfectly with the outline of that. So when I sew this on, it will match up with that and there won't be excess fabric or not enough fabric. So let's do that. Okay, I have the waist sewn on, perfect little ruffle, and I also added the pockets into the side. Just got some nice, and I made them nice and deep little pockets on both sides. Now we just have to hem it and finish sewing all the way down. And then we will basically be done. Then we'll just have to worry about a second layer on the skirt later. I just need to find the right fabric to add to that, so let's do this. Okay, I cut the bottom to the length that I want, and now all I need to do is hem and sew the sides together from like here down. So, okay, here we have the dress inside out. I was just cutting in all the extra loose threads and extra fabric around the edges. And I left a little bit on the waist here just in case I ever want to add that second layer onto the skirt to make it a little thicker. So I'm just gonna leave that for now so that I have a little bit of fabric that I can add onto. Oh my. But now I'm just gonna hem the bottom and we'll be done. And I'll try it on for you guys. Oh my goodness. Be quiet.